Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Burnham Pavilion, the home of your Cardinal men's gymnastics team. Tonight, Stanford Open features the Ohio State Buckeyes, the University of California Golden Bears, and your Stanford Cardinals. We would also like to welcome the individual gymnasts who are competing tonight to qualify in hopes of qualifying for next month's Winter Cup. Good luck to you. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, if you are able to, we ask that you please stand and take off your hats as the national anthem will be presented tonight by Stanford men's gymnastics team member Wade Nelson on the violin. Athletes, please prepare for your 5-minute warm-up. In rotation number 1, starting on the floor exercise will be known as the Stanford gymnasts known as the Tree Squad. On the pommel horse will be Ohio State. On the still rings is Cal. On the parallel bars is the Group E qualifier.
Wow, that was awesome. Welcome to the 2026 Stanford Open, hosted by the Stanford Cardinal and Burnham Pavilion. We're excited to present you with an exciting showcase of NCAA men's gymnastics here today. In today's competition, we'll be watching the Stanford Cardinal compete against the Cal Berkeley Bears, the Ohio State Buckeyes. In addition to that, we'll be keeping an eye on some individuals, competitors, fighting to qualify, to the 2026 Winter Cup Championships. More on that later. I'm Ko Young, Stanford alum, former national team member and 2020 world medalist.
And I'm Taylor Burkhart, also a Stanford alum and national team member. And boy, Coy, this is exciting. I'm feeling the energy already. Today, in Palo Alto, looking at the home team, Stanford, head coach Tom Galimi's fielding a wide range of athletes today. Also coached by Ruben Lopez Martinez, Mitchell Sukup, and Carlos Ojeda. They've had 2 competitions so far this season and looked pretty strong. with an average of a 320.4 and their high being 3/10 higher than that. So probably looking to beat that tonight, but we'll see. Going over to the Cal Bears with head coach. At 308, I believe, around. So probably looking to, get near the 310. Yeah, 309.7, pretty good. Just looking to get a solid score up there for qualification. And then pretty exciting, we have the Ohio State here tonight. Head coach Rustam Sharipov. Cool enough about him, he was a Ukrainian gymnast and actually a Olympic gold medalist on the parallel bars. Joining him are the assistant coaches Casimiro Suarez and Drew Mulling. I think they've had one competition this season so far, but they did pretty well with a 311.3. So probably looking to build on that too here tonight. But the energy's good. The gym is full. The crowd is there. Koi, I'm feeling excited. How are you feeling?
I'm excited as well. I'm even more excited to see these Winter Cup athletes. So along with our NCAA teams, we also have individuals trying to qualify for a coveted spot to compete at this year's Winter Cup. They will have a chance to make the national team and gain experience competing for the USA internationally. To qualify to the Winter Cup this year, you either have to place top 2 in tonight's all-around standings, or you will have to win an individual event after competing a routine difficult enough. So we'll keep an eye out for those gymnasts throughout tonight's competition. If you would like to follow any event specifically, we have a link on our YouTube stream at Virtius where you can click and follow along there. So I'm excited, man. This is going to be big. Stanford Open is probably one of my favorite competitions back when I was an NCAA athlete myself, just because the energy is so high, the stakes are high, and the gymnastics flips are even higher, if you had to ask me. What are you excited to see here tonight, Taylor?
Yeah, I totally agree, Koi. I would say Stanford Open was one of the most energetic competitions of the season for me too, and just being at home, with a full crowd is always a good feeling. But I'm looking forward to. It's still early in the season, This is the 3rd competition so far, so I'm trying to see what lineups are going to be put out there tonight. I know Stanford is going to be fielding the majority of their gymnasts in 2 separate rotations, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited to see guys battling it out and fighting to earn these lineup spots.
Absolutely. So am I. Almost like we are still warming up here. We should be full go in a minute, so let's sit back and get excited for this to get going.
Thanks. Stanford should be starting on vault.
Yes, we have a Stanford group on vault, a Stanford group on floor. Then we have the Ohio State Buckeyes on horse, and the Berkeley Bears on rings. One highlight for tonight that we should make a note of is Asher Hong is making a return to competition. The 2024 Paris Olympic bronze medalist, also a senior and team captain for the Stanford Cardinal. Took a rest first couple competitions of the year, but he's out here being a team captain and showing his team what it's all about to lead. So can't wait to see what upgrades he's going to be unveiling.
Definitely, and definitely one of those guys to watch in the NCAA. He was in August, the last U.S. Championships. He had the largest margin of victory in history for men's gymnastics in the United States. So he unfortunately had an ankle injury at Worlds later, about a month after that championships, but he's back and looks like he's almost full speed. So we'll see what he can do here for the Cardinal tonight.
All right, looks like we're getting started here. I'm ready. Let's do this.
Here we go. Green lights are going up.
So on the floor, we should have David Shama representing Stanford University. David has been working really hard to get back on all around, and his hard work is definitely paying off. We have him here going first for the team. Beautiful kick out. Hold up front, that's a combination pass. You get 1/10 bonus for connecting a twisting skill to a double flipping skill, such as that. David Shama actually qualified to Winter Cup at our last competition, Stanford's last competition, Rocky Mountain Open in Colorado. He competed very well and earned himself a spot. So tonight, he's all for the team.
Yeah, he actually won that all around. Looked pretty solid out there. I will say I haven't seen anyone in the NCAA break an 80 for the all around yet. So looking forward to seeing if some guys can break that mark tonight.
So David, dismount, small hop, but not bad, a good start. The first routine for the team, you want it to be a simple routine, not too many mistakes. You want to just get the momentum going, nothing too crazy. Just want to build on that momentum, and I think David definitely accomplished that there.
Whoa.
That's right.
Zach Green on vault.
All right, Zach.
Lead off. I'm pretty sure that is I think Team Stanford is on vault, and there's an open group of Stanford athletes on floor. So Zach's score will be counted for Stanford, and unfortunately that was a fall on the leadoff guy, which you don't want to have, but he'll forget about it and move on to the next event.
Absolutely. Here we have Troy Nuesca from Cal Berkeley. Rings is an interesting event to start on. Not my favorite, Taylor, if I had to give my opinions on this, but it is a good steady routine event to start on because you just hit your basics, hit your strength, feel the event. Not too much nerves that can affect you like on horse, on floor. Just get a good swing, put the dismount up there and land well. Let's see if Troy can do that for his team. Beautiful. Yep. Nice stuck dismount to start the meet.
That's a great way to finish a routine, and that's the last impression that judges have of your showing, so it's a good way to leave it off. And he gets that extra stick bonus. He gets a 10th for getting that stick on ring, so nice job.
Let's bring our attention to the floor. June from Stanford Cardinal, he has really, really bouncy legs in this event, as you can probably tell already. Freshman for the Stanford Cardinal, already making waves. He competed at U.S. Championships last year. He's a strong all-rounder for our team so far.
Nice vault by Cooper, picking it back up after that previous fall. Get the momentum back.
Here we go. Half punch layout, small hop, not bad. Here we go, Jude. Put it down. Nice. Little hop, bit chesty, but overall, great start for June and for our Stanford Cardinal floor group. One of the hardest things in NCAA gymnastics is getting a good run going. Momentum is everything, and when you start off a little shaky with the first guy or the second guy, you could feel like it's all on you to bring back the momentum, stop the bleeding, as we like to say. What's usually going through your mind, Taylor, when you have to put the Band-Aid on a few shaky routines?
I mean, it's a tough spot to be in, but that's the reality of gymnastics. Anything can happen. So you just always have to be ready to step up and be that guy like Cooper was. Like 14.35 on vault is huge, and then you saw it from there, from Wade there on vault, keeping it going. You know, just knocking it out one routine after another. That's the key.
On horse we have Jace Hashimoto. Beautiful open swing. Pommel horse, one of my favorite events. He's definitely embodying that horseman-like swing right here. This is really good so far. This is one of the hardest events, not only because you're swinging on your hands, but also you never stop moving. You have to adjust while you're doing the next skill. Looks like Jace did a great routine, great dismount. Starting off a competition with 4-hit, 5-hit pommel horse routines, that's a really good way to have good morale throughout. 14-2 from Wade. Stanford's really picking it up on their vaults. Now we have Asher Hong completing the run on vault.
Good way to end that run. Had a little mishap on the first guy, but everyone else did their jobs, and they're going to move on to the next event. We have Asher's younger brother right now on floor.
Xander Hong.
Looks like a solid routine.
Here we have the bane of many gymnasts' existence, the scale, but Xander pulls it off well. Nice dismount.
Small little hop.
Good work, Xander. Jackson Mitchell in the rings. Strong guy for Cal Berkeley. Always fun to watch. Nice.
Had a lot of power on that dismount, but still managed to stay up on his feet. So Cal will take that. Probably a pretty big score for them.
We have Parker Thaxton on the pommel horse for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Capable of putting up a really nice score. Look at his long body line. This is exactly what you want to see on the pommel horse. Very confident in his hand placements and his swing. Oh, man. Right. Once you hit the ground, you have 30 seconds to recoup, rechalk, figure out what skill you need to get back up on. And then you just have to pick up and go. No time to overthink it. See if Parker can regain his confidence here.
It's a good swing. Look at that extension.
When stuff like that happens, sometimes you consult with your coach and you have to figure out, do I want to repeat that skill or do I just move on to the next one? If you repeat it and you make it, then you'll get credit. It won't remove the point you took off on the fall, but you will get credit for the skill. If you decide to move on, that skill's done, but you don't have to worry about it anymore, which is nice sometimes. Here we have Dino on the floor for Stanford Cardinal. Another freshman that's getting in lineups, getting some experience. Might not have the highest start value, but sometimes the cleanliness will go a long way.
Yeah, and I think it's just a really great format and opportunity. The Stanford Open is. Tom's fielding Coach Tom Gleamy's fielding two pretty much lineups of Stanford athletes and giving a lot of guys opportunities early in the season to try and make a case for themselves to be in those lineup spots come postseason and NCAA championships. So those guys are really trying to earn it out there tonight.
Dismount from Dino. About a 3/10 hop, but not bad for your first routine of the night. Good job, Dino. So it looks like we're just waiting for a pommel horse score from Parker Thaxton. How many times has this happened to you, Taylor, where the guy before you caused the judges to take a long time for their score and you're just sitting there waiting?
I think I was the guy who caused the waiting. On pommel horse, I think Park. Oh man,
that's Buznari, one of the hardest skills on horse. Tricky skill.
Yep.
Now sorry to interrupt, but I want to see if he's going to repeat, because it's worth 7/10. Like it's a big loss if you don't repeat, but see, he's talking it over with his coach. Do you repeat it? It's like, all right, let's see.
Yeah, he's actually trying to qualify as an all-arounder tonight to the Winter Cup Championships, so there's a lot of strategy involved. He probably needed to attempt that skill for the difficulty it's worth, just to have a higher start score, but looks like a decent finish from that fall. He opted not to do the extra pirouette on the dismount, so he'll lose a 10th or 2 there, but finished strong, and he's just got to move on and keep trying to get these hit routines.
So we have a 13-2 from Dino Roberts on the floor. Pretty good score. 13-2 on the rings from Nathan, and a 14-4 from Asher Hong on the vault. Not a bad start to the day. Here next on floor we have Kai Umura.
Kai is a very good gymnast, very clean, and he has been on the junior national team and senior development team in years past. He's dealing with some minor injuries, just trying to work back and get healthy, but it's really good to see him, fighting for a lineup spot and trying to break into those here tonight.
Nice.
Oh, stayed in.
you get a stick, but that foot might have been over.
Doing his non-acros here. It's a good area in the routine to find a second to catch your breath and just get a little extra energy before you gear up for this dismount here. Let's see what he does. Back double pike, small hop, and a solid set for Kai on floor.
Wow, P-bars from Evan Hymanson. We had a half and half out bailing dismount. That's pretty unique. It looks like he might have touched his hands on that, but kudos for him for innovating and going for something we don't see too often. That was awesome. So it looks like we have a couple more gymnasts to go on the floor.
Ooh, how about who's on floor?
Got Riley Luce, one of the gymnasts that is still at Stanford training, pushing for LA 2028. Also a Stanford alum. He's dealt with some injuries. Events tonight, we'll have to wait and see, but he is a powerful gymnast, and we'll see that here on the floor in a second. So it looks like I'm looking here at Kai Umura's floor routine, his score. If he had a neutral deduction, that was his foot just going over the line on that 2.5 punch layout, so we have to remove those.
Here goes Riley on the floor.
Nice.
Good connection.
Little jump back, but not too bad. Let's go, Ry. Pick it up.
Nice. That was 2.5 twists forward, which is very difficult.
Here's where Riley really makes his bread and butter, is doing these strength skills that not many in the country can do, and he makes it look so dang easy. If you go onto Riley Luce's social media, you'll see him having fun with those type of skills all day long. Beautiful connection there. You can see his heels together in the air.
Seeing his version of the scale there. It's the dismount.
Yes, sir. Awesome. Way to make your return to competition.
Man, he looks good out there. It doesn't look like he missed a beat.
Here we have Kelly Moriarty from Interstate Gym on the parallel bars. Another gymnast that's not necessarily competing for an NCAA team, but still out here getting NCAA experience. And we get a stuck dismount. Awesome. Good work from Kelly on there. Can't ask for him too much more on that routine.
So it looks like all of the NCAA teams are done. I'm not sure. The floor Stanford group, I think, has one more guy to go. So their group is a little bit larger. They're not doing a 4-up 4 count, but all of the NCAA teams are. So you'll see the Stanford teams already over on the P bars. There's upcoming rotation. They're prepping the bars and chalking it to their liking. But one more competitor to go on the floor exercise. Marcus Patierinen. And interesting about Terry, he's on the Finnish national team, and he went to the World University Games to represent Finland. So he is very well versed in international competition. Nice side pass. Make sure to stick the easy pass in the routine.
Moving on to non-acro. This is a spot where you can take a break and breathe. Very nice press sequence here. Little pike dismount to finish for Terry, a hop and a step. But honestly, a great start for Marcus and a great start for all these teams out here. That's already one rotation in the books. Taylor, what stood out to you so far?
Well, it's already pretty exciting. Guys are throwing some big gymnastics, and this is legit stuff they're doing out here tonight. So, Stanford, for me, as expected, starting on vault, that's typically the highest scoring event. So we'll see how things shake out a few rotations down the road. But yeah, pretty good gymnastics so far tonight. Good energy. Can't complain. How about you, Coy?
Yeah, I agree. It was great to see not only Asher Hong, first competition back, but also some of the guys vying for Winter Cup spots. Trying to get their night going. We mentioned Riley Luce. We also saw Hooper Kim on the vault. He's an all-arounder we're looking out for the Winter Cup. Choi Nuesco on the horse, although he did have that mistake, I believe. He is still in contention, so we'll hope he can pick it up a little bit as he goes on. But yeah, it's just going to be fun seeing where guys end up. Still early in the season, so guys are still working out some kinks. But this is the place to do it. Get in a gym with a big crowd, throw some big gymnastics, and get comfortable with putting it all out there.
I think they're gonna do the pizza runs.
Of course. Of course. The best part of Stanford Open.
Yep.
Is it with a stick every time someone sticks, or is it just, yeah, I think it's a stick.
It's a Stanford. Every time there's a Stanford stick, there's a free pizza for the crowd. So whoever's the loudest in the stands will get a free pizza. Oh yeah, there they go.
all you guys watching at home, if you ever want a really difficult way to get a free pizza, fly out to Cal to watch the Stanford Open next year. See some fun gymnastics and maybe get a pizza. What was your favorite event to start on, Tay, back in your NCAA days?
I think for NCAA, definitely vault.
Yeah.
I mean, that's every team has their favorite event and their strategies, but for me, you know, it's easy to feel the nerves before the competition starts, and it's nice to have that, you know, fully adrenaline-packed event. It's not like pommel horse where you got to be very perfect and have a good rhythm. You just full send it. So it's nice to get the adrenaline out and set the rhythm for the whole competition. How about you, Coy?
Yeah, same. Well, it's a lot of fun to just go all out, but I feel like this is stuff, it's not really thought about, but it's really important to kind of have a routine, know where you're going to start, where you're going to finish, because it definitely does make a difference in terms of your energy and your nerves to start out the meet, your stamina throughout the competition. You got to know when to rest, when to go full send.
Definitely.
Yeah, rings, having rings, you go vault, P-bars, rings, get a break on rings. At least a break for me, because I'm not doing all that much, but vault, P-bars, high bar, end on rings, just go all out to finish.
That is the Stanford strategy, and you know, every team has, like I said, every team has their own strategies, but some teams prefer to start on pommel horse and just get it out of the way, which I don't know if I personally would like that, but
would you rather start on horse or finish on horse? Because I'm gonna start on horse every time.
I agree.
Finish on horse, you're already tired, and then you have the beast to tackle at the end. Which coincidentally, that's where Team USA finished at the Olympics and turned out all right for us. So you got to be ready no matter what. Because sometimes it's not up to you. You gotta prepare for every scenario. With the Stanford Cardinal.
So this song just came on. That signals there's 30 seconds left in the one touch. So we're about to see the start of rotation number 2. Stanford on parallel bars, Ohio State on rings, and Cal on vault. And then we have an open group on pommel horse as well.
So we have Christian Grahofsky on the rings. Beautiful cross. You want to make sure your shoulders and your hands are on the same plane, and he accomplished that there. The lower cross showing off the shoulder strength.
And the judges are looking for 2 full seconds on these elements of holding. So you have to be very mindful of, or even count in your head to make sure that you fulfill those 2 full seconds, or you're gonna get deducted on those skills. And he did a good job of doing that.
Very nice line here. Gearing up for the dismount. Double. Nice 3/10 hop,
Nice.
but it's a good start routine for the Ohio State Buckeyes on the rings. Here we have Zach Green on parallel bars.
Huge front and a quarter.
Woo! I'm styling that hop pirouette. Tom loves those. Head coach Tom Galimi loves those. Always try to get me to do it, but I'm not doing that. Nice dismount.
Solid dismount.
Good work, Zach. That's how you pick it back up from that first event. I'm sure he doesn't even remember what happened on that first event. That's signs of a great competitor.
Theo on vault for Cal. Nice 2.5 twist, Kazumatsu style vault. I believe he is capable of doing a front handspring with 3 full flips, but probably opted not to do it here today just to be safe or not to risk it. But good vault for Theo and the Bears on vault. Over on rings, we have Drake Andrews for the Ohio State. And Drake's been to Winter Cup and U.S. Championships before. He's a very solid all-around gymnast. Very clean. Those are called Yamawakis. Does them very nice, right up to a handstand. Holding that giant dismount.
Nice.
Stick bonus. Great job, Drake.
That's a great routine. I'm looking over at Cal Berkeley Bears on the vault. We just saw not 1, not 2, but 3, 4, 8 vaults. Now that's probably one of the most difficult and high start valued vaults you'll see tonight, or 8, and it's pretty amazing that they have 3 guys doing that. And those are the first 3 in the lineups. We're probably going to see them increase on that as we go down the lineups. Very strong event for them.
On P-Bars right now, we have Arun Chetri, and I would say this is one of the most unique routines in the NCAA right now. Wow.
Full front. Small hop, not bad. Good job, Arun. We just saw another great Kaz 1.5 or Suki 2.5 twisting vault from Jasper Smith-Gordon, the Cal Berkeley Bears. Almost got that stick. Man, this vault lineup is something special. Love to see it.
There's so much good gymnastics going on at the same time right now, Koi. It's hard to it's hard to pick who to cover, but everywhere I look, there's somebody doing a fantastic dismount or a great routine. So just trying to watch all of it and cover it all.
Routine 5.5 from Jasper Smith-Gordon. Huge score for the Cal Berkeley Bears. And they're going to finish off with Troy Nuesca. Gymnast we're keeping an eye on for the Winter Cup. He's an anchor. That probably means he has something big to show. So let's make sure we're watching for that one.
Here he goes.
Oh, double full. Good landing. That's a little low, but that is the vault lineup you dream of for an NCAA team.
Right now, Xander hung on. Oh, man. Just missed that handstand on his dismount. He's probably not going to get credit for it, so I'll buy to repeat to get the difficulty it's worth. Saw him reach-hock up, take his 30 seconds. Man, it's such a tough thing to make your whole pommel horse routine and then just barely miss the dismount, but he does a good job repeating it and getting the difficulty there. So just keep it moving. Just the second rotation, Xander. You got 4 more. Finish strong.
Here on P-Bars, we have Reese Landsberger, and this is also a unique routine that you want to prepare yourself for, because it's a little scary sometimes. I think gymnastics can be that way. Let's see what he's doing, or he might not have opted for it. Usually he does a skill where he does a front uprise into a double back skill and lands back on his arms. But nonetheless, still jam-packed routine. Here we have a Hanma. Now his underbar swing. Gearing up for the dismount here, double front. Ooh,
little
low there, but not bad. The fun thing about gymnastics is, if it's not confusing enough, the code of points changes every 4 years. So you'll see gymnasts doing something different, doing skills they probably wouldn't have in previous years, but just to meet the requirements necessary. You see in that previous routine, there's a lot of front uprises. That's because any skill that you're swinging up to a handstand, you have to do a pirouette. And a lot of gymnasts use the front uprise to kind of recalibrate and get back on track. So it's hard to keep track of all these rule changes, even for us gymnasts, but if you're wondering why these routines look like they're so different year to year, that's why.
Definitely. Over on the pommel right now, we have Dino Roberts, another Stanford freshman in the open group, trying to make a case for himself on the pommel horse. Little fight there, but he's fighting to stay on, just push through the routine.
Come on.
Man, this is a fight.
Push it.
Wow.
Push it. Wow.
That's determination right there. When your rhythm's off and you're about to come swinging off the pommel horse, but you find a way, and Dino found a way and delivered that routine. So that's awesome to see.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need a hit. You just need a hit. Even if it's a little sloppy, a little off, staying in it, finishing through the dismount, it just builds confidence. And I think early competitions like the Stanford Open, it's really a good place to build confidence and gain experience heading into the second half of the season. Here on the P-bars, we have Asher Hong, our 2024 Olympic bronze medalist. This is one of his high-scoring potential routines. I'm sure he'll want to keep the momentum going for his team and hit a nice clean set. Nice. It's a Makut's. Wow. That skill is so difficult because, same with that one, you can't see the bar on your way down. So if you misstep, your hands going through, your arms going through, and just hope you don't hit the ground too hard. Here we go, gearing up for the dismount here. Stuck dismount, and that's why he was a 2024 United States Olympian. Stuff like that. Beautiful.
Yeah, he got the crowd hyped. He's hyped. Did his job, stuck the landing. Not much more you can do there.
We have Evan Hymanson on the high bar in open group. That's some pretty high flying gymnastics. Beautiful Tkachev straight there. High bar is so fun to watch because you have gymnasts like Evan, who not only does the nice intricate in-bar skills like this one here, dislocating his shoulders, but he also has the high-flying skills like Tkachev's and Kovacs's and stuff that's just so fun to watch as a spectator. Here we go, big dismount, double twisting double. Step on the dismount, but not a bad set.
That was a solid routine for Evan, I will say.
Yeah, that was a good routine.
He's actually, Evan is one of those guys who's just a trickster. Like, he can do any skill I can tell him to do, I'm pretty sure. So
I don't think there's any skill.
I'm always guessing what routine he's gonna do, but that looked good for him, and he'll be happy with that high bar score for sure.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a skill I haven't seen Evan train at one point or another.
Here we have one more competitor for Stanford. His score will not count for Stanford, but it will count for him as an individual to qualify to the Winter Cup for his all-around score. So Cooper Kim, parallel bars. Let's see it.
A little short hold there. Make sure you show the judges that you have control. Little steppy. Come on, settle in, Coop. Come on, settle in. Come on. Yeah, there we go. A little shaky to start, but it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Good job, Coop. Here we have Riley Luce on the
right over to
horse.
Riley.
Now, Riley is a strong ring guy, so naturally horse is a little difficult for him, but I'm sure you can't even tell. Look at that long line. He's a little muscly here, but sometimes that extra strength can come to your benefit.
Right here. Just flies up on that handstand, does an extra pirouette for the dismount, and he'll receive an extra 10th there. Great routine for Riley. Great floor and great pommel so far.
Who says ring guys can't do horse? Not me. We have Kelly on the high bar.
Bent arm a little bit there. Big release.
Nice. A little close, but figured it out. Jev. Landing here.
Nice. Solid set for him. I didn't see the beginning, I don't think, but he stayed on. That's what you want to do on high bar. Get through it, stay on, catch your releases, and he did that. That looks like should be the end of rotation 2.
If we have one more competitor on the high bar, I believe we will be done, or maybe not. Yeah, we have one more on high bar, and then we on to the next rotation. As I said earlier, Cal Berkeley had a great run on the vault. It looks as though they've closed the gap between them and Stanford just a bit. Want to keep an eye on those team scores because we battling it out throughout. As of now, Stanford's at a 110.8 and Cal's at a 109. Final competitor on high bar, we have Zach Myers. Talk half, that skill really wants to finish in the handstand. Nice Kovac skill there. Beautiful cross skill there. Gearing up for the dismount. Nice. We saw a little bit of everything in that routine. Some dismounts, Kovac skill, Tkachev, some in-bar. And a nice dismount. Good work from Zach. Now we're headed into the third rotation already. This is flying by. We have the Stanford Cardinal moving from P-bars to high bar. The Cal Berkeley Bears moving on to the parallel bars. And the Ohio State guys moving on to the vault.
All right, well, we saw Cal's vault rotation, phenomenal. I mean, they're pretty much neck and neck with Stanford now. Stanford they had a little miss on one of their vaults, opened the door a little bit, but I'm excited to see what Ohio State's gonna do now as they're heading to vault, and we'll see how much of that margin they can they can close on this next rotation. But especially with Stanford going to high bar, which is, much more risky event and lower scoring event compared to vault. So excited to see how that shakes out. What are you looking forward to in the next rotation, Coy?
Definitely high bar. I know Stanford has some pretty big skills they're going to throw. As you said, it's kind of got to keep an eye on who's where. Vault's a high-scoring event. E-bars can be a very high-scoring event. High bar is difficult to get into the 14s. So you really got to capitalize as a team that's good at vault, because that could be your shot to close the gap and take the lead. So especially a team like the Buckeyes that have already done horse, and horse is one of those lower scoring events, one of those events with high volatility. You never know what's going to happen. So they have that out the way. They can really work on capitalizing on these high scoring events to catch up to the to Cal Berkeley and Stanford. Let's look at some of the highlights from the last session. We had Asher Hong going 14.05, which was the highest score of the rotation on parallel bars. Great routine. That stuck dismount goes a long way. We like to say that could be a 5/10 swing. You stick the dismount, you get a plus 1/10. If you hop, could be 3 to 5/10. So that stick really does a lot for him. On the vault, we had a 14.55 from Jasper Smith-Gordon. That vault was beautiful, helping the California Berkeley Bears cap off a 56.65 on their event. And we had not the highest scoring rotation from the Buckeyes on rings. Their highest score was 13.15 from Drake Andrews. Going to the event, you know what your lowest scoring events are, and you know that you just got to get through it, hit clean routines, and then full force on your next event. So
the goal is always to ideally hit every routine, right, Clay?
yeah, it is. It is. When you don't, you got to forget it. Move on.
I feel like these guys are doing a good job. There hasn't been too many mistakes here tonight so far, but the ones that have taken place, the guys, moved on, and the guys in the lineup after them have done a really good job of stepping up, and we call it stopping the bleeding, where somebody falls on a team, the next guy has to stop that bleeding and deliver a hit routine for that team and just get the momentum back. So pretty happy with seeing that from all the teams so far, because it's hard to do. I would say it's easy, like on even an event like pommel horse, to have one fall from a guy, and then that bleeds into more and more mistakes. So just nipping it in the bud and getting the team back on track is a very, very important job. And I'm looking at the rings, or the vault scores, sorry, and just, not to target out Zach Green or anything, but Stanford did have that one miss on vault, and they had a 55.6 on vault, and historically that's been one of the highest scoring events for Stanford, and Cal put up a 56.6, so they're neck and neck, and they're with Stanford there, so that's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, it's interesting to watch the scores throughout the season. Ideally you'll have hit ratios go higher and higher as you get closer to the NCAA championships. And the same with the scores, you expect them to go higher and higher. So I doubt if something like that will happen again. But here we go, the start of the third rotation. We have Nick Kubler on the high bar, who is going to throw some big gymnastics. He's one of the staple starters for our team going back to my freshman year. Nick He's always been a great leadoff guy. Beautiful. He shines in moments like this to get his team ready. Here we have a
Huge
Casina.
release.
Beautiful. Nick is definitely known for his cleanliness in the air. Straight arms on releases. And of course, a high hit ratio. That's everything you'd want from a leadoff guy, especially on an event like high bar. Coming up on the dismount.
Just got to put it down. Find the stick.
Wow. Was that a stick?
Raise that green
Was that a
flag.
Wow, that is going to be the leading high bar score for the night so far. No doubt about it. That was amazing. When you have a routine like that, it's hard not to follow up with another hit set. Like it just feels so good to watch your teammate come through and just nail a set like that, man. I mean, want to suit up. Suit up and getting
I'm getting adrenaline right now. That was the perfect leadoff routine. Did his job for the Stanford on high bar.
Next up on the high bar, we'll have Zach Green, who also has some big gymnastics to show. So keep your eye on the high bar this rotation because it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be crazy.
I think we missed it, but over on vault, Christian Grahofsky, 14.35. Solid score and solid leadoff score for him. Oh, and Zach Snyder, 14.0, right after Christian Grahofsky. So 2 solid scores for Ohio State on vault.
We have David Ramirez coming up next on the vault. Another 2.5. Wow. Vault is... People are throwing big vaults. That's huge. Guys have really turned up the volume on the vault this year. Love to see it.
And that's the cool thing about NCAA program. You know, it's a direct feeding pool into our Olympic sports and our Olympic teams as well. So the more guys in the NCAA really pushing the envelope with the difficulty elevates the entire country. So great to see.
Here we have Zach Green on the high bar. This is gonna be big. Gonna start off similar as Nick, a little late on that half, supposed to finish in handstand, but here's where we're gonna have some big stuff.
Casina, a little close to the bar, had to muscle out of it, but worked with it. Here comes another big release, Coleman.
Nice. Much smoother giant on the way out of that. Here we have German giants where you're dislocating your shoulders and still holding onto the bar. Ridiculous. Now we have a huge dismount here. Come on, Zach. Big pull. Beautiful.
Wow. 3 flips in that dismount. You won't see that too often. But great set for Zach. Worked with it. Pretty clean.
So as I said earlier, Nick Kubler, I predicted he was going to have the highest high bar score. Probably the highest score of the night on any event. He went 14.6 on that high bar routine. 9.4 execution, which is 9.4 in NCAA men's gymnastics that's essentially a 10. You're not getting much cleaner than that, especially on high bar. That I don't even know, man. That's ridiculous.
Well done for Nick. Great to see him hit that routine. Probably come away with that event title, but we'll see what happens. You never know. But 14.6, astronomical.
Lots of gymnastics to come.
We just saw
Jesse on the vault.
Jesse on vault. Stayed up, clean in the air, just doing that vault for himself for individual qualification for the all-around for Winter Cup. So his score will not count for Ohio State on vault.
Still awaiting that score for Zach on the high bar before we get Cooper.
Nice stick on P-bars for Cal by Nathan Underhill. Just caught the last few seconds of that routine.
Beautiful double-double on the floor. 2 twists and 2 flips in the air. All right, here we have Cooper Kim on the high bar. This is one of the most intricate routines in the NCAA right now. I can say that with full confidence. World-class gymnastics.
Right off the bat here.
Talk full, does he do it? Oh my God, he does it!
Wow.
So talk full to Winkler, one of the hardest combos you're gonna see in men's gymnastics, and he makes it look so easy.
He'll actually receive 2/10 bonus for that connection as well. So huge bang for your buck there. Another big release.
Nice, Cooper. Come on. Oh! Nice. I think that was a stick. My screen froze for a second. But that was a great routine from Cooper Kibb. Lots of difficulty in there. Stayed in it through the end.
Three solid hits on high bar for Stanford. They're feeling the energy right now.
In the Stanford Open group, we have Xander Hong showing us how to do a cross there. Xander Hong is shooting for that Winter Cup spot. So he's going to do all 6 events for us today.
Little bent arms on that giant, but found the handstand. Good back giant, just the dismount. See if he can get the stick here.
Nice.
Oh, and he hangs on to it. Nice. Good finish for Xander on rings. Looks like the last competitor for Stanford on high bar is Asher Hong. You know, Asher has historically struggled on this event, but I would say in the past year he's put in a ton of work just trying to add more difficulty and then, you know, cleaning up those upgrades. And he's done a phenomenal job, you know, just showing that on the national stage last year and you know, leading up until World Championships as well. But I'm excited to see what routine he'll do here tonight. But you can expect some big releases and some sharp looking skills. So let's see what Asher can do here on high bar.
Absolutely. Looking at the high bar lineup for the Stanford Cardinal, we have 14-6, 13-7, 14-1, almost averaging a 14 on high bar, which is a great start. Let's see if Asher can keep the momentum going.
Here we have a huge release. Casina, like you've seen some other guys do, has one other one.
Oh,
man.
Fingertips. Asher stays down a little bit.
Yeah.
You have 30 seconds. Like we said, you have 30 seconds to chalk up and get back on the bar. But if you're on the ground after falling, you can stay there. And the clock doesn't start until you stand up. So Asher took, the veteran would, he took liberties on that rule. Stay down for a little bit, caught his breath. Now he's going to get back up and finish the set. I wonder if he'll repeat. I think knowing Asher, he'll want to repeat.
And Tom probably told him not to, just to secure a hit. Or, you know, not risk missing again. So the goal is to just finish strong here for him. Just the dismount here.
Double. Up on the dismount, but honestly, still great routine. Asher knows what he needs to work on.
It's nice to see him. It's good to see him, you know, commit to those upgrades and try them out in competition. And, you know, he just barely missed that second release. So I'm sure on Monday morning and in practice, that's the first thing he'll be doing in the gym.
Yep, he'll probably do some before the night's over.
After the meet.
We have Finn Grenstem from the Bandits on floor.
Come on, Finn.
Nice full twisting front flip side pass. And you'll see a lot of gymnasts are adding some style, some swag on their non-acros. One of the requirements of this new code is to either do a scale or to add some style by doing complex and acro skill. We saw a fall there on the double pike dismount, but looked like a solid routine leading up to that. Hopefully he can recoup and get ready for the next event.
Yeah, if you look at the floor, that's actually, there's different equipment brands, and Spieth being the floor there is a German brand. And I don't know about you, Koi, but every gymnast I've talked to says it's a little bit springier, like it just feels a little bit better, and they prefer it. It feels less hard compared to some other brand floor brands. So that's a new addition to the competition tonight. It looks pretty bouncy to me, but you know, just differences in brand equipment. The carpet can feel a little different, a little more slippery. So just getting used to different equipment is always a key thing. And at Winter Cup, all of the equipment will be this Spieth brand as well. So it's a good opportunity for the guys trying to qualify to get used to that different equipment and just get a run through before, because it can make a difference. Even for me, I can feel a difference on high bar. Different brands are bendier, harder. You know, it all depends on the brand and how you normalize yourself with it and getting comfortable with it. So
looking at the standings so far, we have Cooper Kim from the Stanford Cardinal in first place in the all-around with a 27.95, actually tied with Theodore from Cal Berkeley, also with a 27.95. Then we have Asher Hong in third place with a 26.4. Despite that fall in high bar, still in the top 3. Now, we have to keep an eye on Cooper Kim and Theodore and some of the other guys such as Zach Green to see if those scores hang on for the qualification to the Winter Cup. Here we have floor. Riley Luce leads on horse. We have Jace Hashimoto we saw earlier on the horse. Still rings Theodore leading with a 13.3. Jasper Smith-Gordon on vault leading with a 14.55. Huge score. Of course, Asher Hong with a 14.05 in first place on the parallel bars. And our high bar, to no one's surprise, Nick Kubler 14.6. But then we have Cooper Kim trailing not that far off with a 14.5. The 9.2 execution score. Any execution score in the 9s is huge for a team, especially if the difficulty is in the low to mid 15s. That is going to work wonders for that final score for the team. Wow, 14.5. That's, I don't know if I've ever scored a 14.5 on high bar. I've had dreams of scoring a 14.5 on high bar.
One day, Coy.
Maybe.
I believe you could do it.
Moving on to the fourth event. Let's take a look at our team score. We have Stanford in first place with a 166.6, California Berkeley Bears with a 161.05, and the Ohio State Buckeyes with a 158.6. But this is the halfway point. So just because your team may be down by a couple points, you never know. A lot can change. We have Stanford going to floor and horse, which can be lower scoring events. We have Cal Berkeley on the high bar and then floor, and then we have Buckeyes and P-bars and high bar. So depending on what is a strong event for which team, we could see these standings flip in a moment's notice. So stick around and see what happens here. What do you think was the highlight of that last rotation? Let's say the last three rotations. What was the highlight? Because we had Nick Hoover on high bar, Cooper Kim on high bar.
Oh, man.
We had Asher Hogg with P-bars, which was awesome. We also had some awesome horse routines from the Buckeyes. And then we had a full rotation of 4-8 vaults from the Cal Berkeley Bears. That was just fun to watch. So what's your highlight so far?
It's hard to pick one, Coy, I'm going to be honest. But, man, I got to give it to, Nick and Cooper on high bar. I'm going to give it to Nick. Started the rotation off as well as it could have been. Did his job, stuck the landing, and just set the rest of the team up for success there. So, huge shout out to Nick. Great job being the leadoff guy, and huge 14-6. So, great to see that. How about you, Coy? What was your highlight? There's a lot to pick from.
I think I'm going to go with Cooper. That tuck full to Winkler combination, not many guys you're going to see compete that skill. Also, a Stanford alum, Brody Malone, high bar world champion in the 2025 Worlds this past year, competed that Winkler skill, not from a tuck full, but to see such high difficulty, world-class gymnastics being done at the NCAA level, it should let you know that these guys competing out here are talented and are shooting be on that world stage. So kudos to Nick, to Cooper, and all the guys out there shooting for the stars in difficulty and in the sport of gymnastics. We're going to get started with our fourth event here soon. Here we have Carter Kim, Cal Berkeley Bears on the high bar. We also have Nick Kubler on the floor, as we mentioned, premier start-off guy for the Cardinal.
Oh man,
it's a bit too far on that Coleman on high bar. It's really hard once you release and your tap was a bit off. It's really hard to correct it once you're in the air. Hopefully he has a better end to his routine. Nick Kubler on the floor also has some strength to show off. Believe it or not, huge, strong ring guy, but also has prowess in events like floor and high bar. But showing off that ring strength on the floor, let's see what he has for us for his final pass. Oh, pike stick.
Oh man,
Nick is having a night.
He's got one more pass for the dismount here.
Oops, let's not talk too soon. Great routine.
Nice.
Good work from Nick Kubler. Had a great showing the first meet, the Cal Benefit Cup a few weeks back, and his momentum hasn't slowed yet. Excited to see how far he goes this season.
A good finish over there on high bar for Carter Kim as well. Just trying to finish strong and, set the tone for the next guy, and hopefully next guy can step up and get a hit for the Bears on high bar.
Taylor, you're doing a huge high bar set. You come off. You have 30 seconds to get back on the bar. What's going through your mind?
Well, like you saw from Asher, the first thing I like to do is stay on the ground before they start the time, just to give myself however many extra seconds I can get, kind of use that time to hopefully recollect my thoughts and probably say a few positive sentences to myself and then try to finish strong and stay on the bar. But it's a tough spot to be in, but you got to be in those situations to learn how to deal with it. So
Absolutely.
these are great opportunities for everyone to do that.
Absolutely. We have Zach Green on the floor.
Oh, that's good.
Pushing through his all-around competition for the night. Here we have a flare up to handstand. Good work there. Zach is a taller gymnast. You could see that on the high bar. His lines just make him look so long and so elegant on the high bar. Sometimes it may be difficult to transfer that onto the floor, but Zach makes it work. Nice, back on a half stick. It's a blind landing. You can't see the floor when your feet hit it. So sticking a landing like that is not easy.
Hey, wow.
Got some
Hangs onto the stick there.
some arm swings, fan the crowd a little bit, but it's a good use.
Oh, man.
And that's like you were talking about earlier with the different equipment. It can be so hard for athletes like the Cal Berkeley Bears or the Ohio State or the Buckeyes coming from their gym, not having trained on our equipment and just having to get used to it in, let's say, an hour to 2 hours when warm-up is. It's another aspect of the sport that is not talked about much, but it's a huge player in how well you're able to compete. My old club coach used to say, like, you never want to blame the equipment. You gotta make it a part of your process to get used to the equipment and adjust all your taps and your bounces. But it can be hard sometimes.
Yeah, I 100%. And, you know, that's why at national championships, you have 2 to 3 days of training before the competition. But here in the NCAA, you show up to Stanford and you compete the same day sometimes. So you just got to work with it and try to deal with it the best you can sometimes. And
great finish from Troy Nuesco on that high bar routine. It can be difficult sometimes to finish a set after having a disruption in the middle, but he really showed that he is a competitor. He's in it till the end. Good work. So far we have, in the open group, we have a 14 from Toma Murakawa. Great score. David Chama 13. Must have had a bit of mistake, but not a terrible score. 14.45 from June. Great score. Xander Hong 13.25 and Kai with a 13.6. Some great vaults here today. It's been fun to watch. Vault's one of my favorite events because it's so quick, so powerful, and guys are really showing their strength there today. So far on the floor, we've seen a 13.95 from Nick Kubler and a 13.3 from Zach Green. Both huge scores. Let's see if Coop can continue the momentum. Little front, small hop, good work.
big double layout. I'm pretty sure he stuck that. It's hard to see, but he's very diverse gymnast. He can twist and flip naturally. Makes it look so easy.
We have a 2.5 punch layout. Small hop, good work. Gearing up for the dismount, double pike. Small hop, good work. A little bit hoppy on the landings, but super clean in the air. Good difficulty. Overall execution score should be pretty high. It's another great set from Cooper Kim today.
Over on P-bars, we have Drake Andrews. Just saw a nice Makout element. And then a Healy right there. Those are very difficult because feels like you're on one arm for such a long time. Loading up for the dismount. Little small step backwards, but good hit routine for the Buckeyes on P-bars.
We have Kelly Moriarty on the horse in the open group for Interstate Gym. Now the fourth rotation can be hard to go to horse because that's when you can start to feel your muscles starting to tighten. You get a little bit dehydrated. You got to make sure you're fueling because horse you have to be so mentally zoned in. So we'll see how guys handle pommel horse later on in the event. Come on, get it up there. Take your 30 seconds and breathe. Hopefully we get a good finish from Kelly here. Come on.
Push.
There we go. Here on the floor we have Asher Hong, capable of some huge gymnastics. Excited to see what he goes for here. Double
Huge
full,
connection.
double front.
Small hop back, but not bad. Another connection for him. Packing the difficulty in. That was a front full twist into a double front in a pike position. So straight legs. Very hard. That's an upgrade for him. It's 2.5 full twists, and like Coy said, another blind landing, so you can't see the floor until you land, pretty much. But handles it well.
We have the scale. Asher said he prefers to do the scale rather than other non-acros because he gets a chance to breathe before his dismount.
Huge dismount.
Double, small hop. Good work from the 2024 U.S. Olympic bronze medalist Asher Hong.
He's looking good so far. I mean, it's hard. Doing all 6 events is another challenge in and of itself, just endurance-wise. But it's looking solid so far.
Here we have Troy Holman from BGA on the rings. Good position on that handstand. It can be really difficult to catch yourself in the handstand. And nice, smooth landing there on the half and half out tucked, in the tucked position. Here we have Nathan Underhill for Cal Berkeley, a freshman that's doing all around here tonight, hoping to get a spot to compete at Winter Cup.
Come on, Nathan.
Nice Yamawaki.
It's a cool release move.
Yep. And some guys you see that don't have the huge releases, the goal is really to just be as clean as possible. That's how you close the gap between the guys who have the higher difficulty. They may open the gap with some execution reductions, but Nathan did his job. Nice clean routine. Not the biggest start value, but being clean and hitting a good set is definitely what he did, and will keep him in the running for that Winter Cup spot. Back to the rings. We have Marcus Miranda from SC United. Wow, strong Moti skill.
You can tell he's a ring guy right off the bat. Jamming in more strength elements. See his arms bending a little bit in that handstand. Want to get those elbows locked out, but he's really pushing the difficulty, trying to get as many strength moves as he can in here. Come on.
Push, push.
Kind of fighting through that handstand. Wow. And he pulls that dismount around, man. It's so hard to do those dismounts at the end of a routine after doing all those strength moves, but did a good job handling it.
We have Finn Grenstem on the Bandits. Now for the dismount. Looks like he didn't get it all the way up. It's alright, take your 30 seconds and go all out.
You see their team captain over there, Will Pierce, by the chalk bowl. I think he's like also their coach as well, or manager as well, but giving him some words of encouragement. Just get this dismount up. Did his job. All right. Move on to the rings. You got done with pommel horse, so that's a relief. Coy, what does that feel like for you in the competition when you finish a good set for yourself or the team on pommel?
Yeah, it's a great feeling. I feel like it's almost, I don't even know what's happening half the time in my horse routines. It's like you salute, you black out, and then you salute again. The routine is over. Sometimes I'm asking, was it good? I don't even know. I wasn't even conscious during that. But it feels great because that's a telltale sign that the hard work you're putting in the gym is just translating into the competition. Your body just takes over autopilot and lets the hard work show.
Definitely. And what about after maybe a missed pommel horse routine? What do you do to kind of bring yourself back mentally or to finish strong in the competition?
I think because in practice, you practice for these scenarios. Not every routine goes perfectly in the gym, so you come off on the horse immediately. You just have to remember your rhythm, setting the rhythm when you get back up, what skills you need to still complete to get the difficulty at the level you need to get it to, and at the end of the day, just locking back into the mindset you had before you came off the horse. Thinking too much about the fall is where you go left. I don't worry about a score until the end of the competition. Here we have William Pierce finishing us off on the pommel horse. He's capable of some really unique, beautiful looking gymnastics. Here he goes to the flares. These type of skills are saved only for gymnasts with long arms. If you don't have long arms, it's really difficult to pull this off, but William Pierce is making it look so easy.
Wow, push, come on.
Oh, I think that gets credit.
No.
No, he's not giving him credit.
Judge is saying no.
Ruthless.
Man, that was such a good fight by him at the end too, just trying to muscle it over, but judge said no credit, so he's gonna have.
I think he's letting them.
Did he say?
I saw him shake his head no, but I think William said, "I'm taking it." You can make decisions. So in a case like that, I believe you'll get a fall, and they'll take some tenths off for not getting the full credit for dismount, but sometimes it may not be worth it to go back up, as we saw there.
It might just incur more deductions if you do opt to repeat that dismount. It might just be a better option to, just take the fall and move on. And that's what Will did there.
Let's take a look at our standings from the last rotation. In the all-around, we have some changes. We have Cole Fallbacker, Team GAA, with the leading score in the all-around as of now, and then followed by Cooper Kim and Asher Hong. The floor, we have Nick Kubler leading on this event once again, followed by Riley Luce and Cooper Kim. Again, 8-8 score from Nick Hubler. Anything near that 9 is a good score. Hashimoto leading on the horse still for us. Let's see if the Stanford Cardinal can make some changes to this horse lineup. This has been solid from the start.
Not seeing many 14s in the pommel horse scores though, so you're gonna want to look for those. On the rings, we have Theo from Cal, 13-3 leading score. 9-2 execution is solid, but the next 5 guys below him all have stick bonus there, the little green circle there, so they each get 1 extra tenth for sticking their dismounts. So you're gonna want to look for those in the coming rotations.
The vault.
Vault.
Jasper Smith-Gordon still in the top spot with a 14.55. 9.75 execution. Not going to get much higher than that. We do have June EY with a 14.45 moving into second place. Then Asher Hong in third place. Parallel bars, Asher Hong still leads with a 14.05. 8.95 execution, followed by Theodore with a 9.25 execution. Final score of 13.95, tying with David Ramirez from the Ohio State.
Going to high bar as expected. Oh, and it looks like they've changed Cooper Kim's score. So Nick Kubler and Cooper are currently tied for the event title right now. I think they break the event title, or they break the tie by execution score. So technically Nick would take this because he performed his routine cleaner, but he has a lower start difficulty score than Cooper. But awesome to see 2 14.6s for Stanford, and then Zachary Green in third with a 13.7. Huge scores.
Yeah, especially on high bar, very difficult event to score in the 14. And we have 2 mid 14s from the Stanford Cardinal. That is something that they are going to want to keep for the second half of the season, going into conference finals and NCAA championships. So we're already going into our 5th event of the night. Can't believe it. I feel like we just turned on the live stream.
We just started.
Live stream a few minutes ago.
So there's being alumni of Stanford, Coy, there's a saying for the team that real teams show up on the 5th and 6th event.
That's right.
And basically what that means is, you know, a lot of guys in the competition will go throughout it doing well and kind of let it go towards the last 2 events. So it's just a reminder to really mentally focus and do your job on the 5th and 6th events for the team to finish strong and just not let anything go, especially with pommel horse typically being Stanford's 5th event. So we'll see how they can handle, you know, going over to the pommel horse and see if they can hang on and fend off Ohio State and Cal.
Yeah, it can be difficult going into pommel horse specifically as your 5th event, because it is one of those events. The 5th and 6th event is when you start to feel a little tired, a little fatigued. And horse is the one event where you have to be so locked in physically and mentally. So let's keep a lookout for our all-arounders on horse, because this will be a big test for them going into Winter Cup if they're able to keep the stamina, keep the momentum all the way through a difficult event like horse as their 5th event. Let's take a look at the team scores so far. We have Stanford Cardinal still in first place with the 220.65. Trailing, we now have the Buckeyes with the 212.25 and Cal Berkeley with 211. So we do have some changes here in the scoreboard. Horse, we have Arun Chetri. He just came off on a Busnari. Very difficult skill. Unfortunate that he came off there, but it's a skill that takes a lot of time to get used to. Looking at Christian Grochowski on the high bar, he just did a Wallstrom, one of Taylor's favorite skills to compete. He competed it very well. Oh,
Oh
came
man.
off. See, this is
Yeah,
this is what we mean.
Christian actually performed a very difficult beginning element on high bar. It's worth a G, so 7/10 of difficulty, which is huge. And not many people worldwide can really perform this skill. So he actually did that one successfully, but unfortunately missed his Tkachev layout. But let's see how he can finish.
Yeah, another mistake from Arun Chetri. This is what we mean. That fifth event is one of the hardest events to come to because you're starting to get tired and fatigued. But as we say, real gymnasts show up fifth and sixth, so that's definitely an area Stanford Cardinal and other teams are going to have to address going into the second half of this season. Christian Grochowski finishes off his high bar routine. That dismount was a little scary.
That was a little close for comfort.
But
that was a little close by Christian, but a little close to the bar is what we mean. Is he let go of the bar a little late on his tap, so he almost was close to hitting it, but was able to pull off that dismount and have a good finish. But hoping to see Ohio, step up and get a good run and get some momentum here on the high bar as well. And it looks like on pommel right now for Stanford, we have Marcus Kushner. Kushner is a pommel horse specialist, so it's the only event he'll be doing tonight. But he is trying to qualify to Winter Cup as a specialist just for pommel, so he actually has enough difficulty score to meet the threshold. So let's see what he can do, and if he hits a good set and a solid score, he might have a shot here to qualify. So let's go Kushner.
Now remember, as a specialist to qualify Winter Cup, you not only have to hit the difficulty, but you have to win your event. So it's imperative that he hits this clean. Come on, Kush. And already we have a huge break. And unless he's able to repeat that flopping skill we just saw on the single pommel, he may not have enough difficulty to qualify. Yeah, I think he's not going to have the difficulty to qualify to Winter Cup, regardless of his execution score, which is unfortunate, but we really need Stanford Cardinal to pick it up on the routines here.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him. He missed the difficulty, but he did do a good job of fighting and staying on for the score that counts for Stanford. So it could have been worse, but he handled it.
We had another mistake here from Xander Hong in the parallel bars, and just as we said, this is the time where you really got to focus in to push through the fatigue and the mental and physical fatigue. But here we go, Xander Hong again, getting back on the bars.
Handles that Hanma well. That skill's very hard when you're feeling a little bit tired. Tricky element, handles that well, going from one bar back to both. He looks a little bit more settled in. Just got to put this dismount down.
Come on, push. All right, good finish, good finish.
A little low on that, but finished as best as he could after having that fall. So one more event for Xander. Here we have Jacob Harmon on high bar for the Buckeyes. He's a taller gymnast, so his lines and his gymnastics looks very beautiful. Small hop on the dismount. Good set for the Buckeyes.
On pommel horse, we have Kiran Mandava, another national team member, former national team member for the Stanford Cardinal. He has a beautiful line on horse. Now his job, we had two mistakes in our previous two pommel horse teams. His job is to stop the bleeding, to hit a good set and get the morale back for the team. Let's see if he can get us back on track here. Great set so far. Come on, Kieran. Great set from
Nice.
Kieran. Does his job well. That's what you want to see. Coming off of 2 mistakes, a guy that's going to go up there, hit his set, and get the team back on track. Not the easiest thing to do, but Kieran handles it well.
And Marcus Kushner's score came in at a 13-7, which is, I think, is the highest, might be the highest pommel horse score, but I just don't know if he received the full difficulty for his routine, so we'll have to look at that. Nathan Underhill for Cal on floor. It's the dismount. Small little hop and an arm circle, but looked like a good routine to me.
We have David Shama on the parallel bars, gymnast for the Stanford Cardinal that qualified for Winter Cup at an earlier meet this competition. So this is just to gain experience and to get some confidence under his belt for the upcoming competitions. P-bars is one of his stronger events. He's very, very strong, very talented in these upper arm positions. Going into the dismount here, routine for him. Going over the pommel horse, little whiplash here. We have Asher Hong. Asher Hong knows he needs a good set here to get the team back on track. Kieran did his job, but that momentum is nothing without a good finish.
Asher fighting on that. Oh, just ran out of steam there.
It's going to be interesting because we have 3 big mistakes for the Cardinal on horse. If other teams, such as Berkeley on floor, is really locked in, they might take advantage of this and close the gap that Stanford created. Asher's gone back up, wants to get a good dismount. Double pirouetting, handstand dismount. Good finish, but overall, this team is going to be disappointed with that run. We still have Cooper Kim to come to hit a routine for his Winter Cup bid. But the routines that are counting for the team score, not too hot. We have David Shama's score on parallel bars coming in with a 14.2, which is a great score for him. Might land him in the top 3, I believe, on that event. I'm not sure. I think he might be in first place after that.
We got Mateo Maradona of Cal on floor. The final competitor for their team score. So far they have 13-4, 5, 12-8, and a 12-8. And he just sat that double pike down, so he's going to lose a full point there, but he still needs to work and fight for every 10th in this routine because his score is still counting for Cal. So
whoa, that was cool. Full twist.
that was sweet.
Don't see that too often.
Starting on horse is Cooper Kim for his Winter Cup bid. Another little mess up for Mateo on floor. But good dismount. Finish strong.
See some flare work on horse from Cooper Kim. A bit of a break earlier on, but he's handling it well. It here, that would be huge for his all-around score. Cooper!
Just let it. Oh man. Like we were saying, 5th event, pommel horse, man.
Might have jinxed
Can
him a
buck
little
you
bit.
off in a millisecond. He's right there. All he had left was his dismount element. Just get off the horse, but sometimes that's the hardest element to do in the routine. So just looking to hopefully get no deduction here and just get off.
Nice, good
Does
dismount.
the extra pirouette, gets a 10th there, but was looking for a hit there.
Interesting to see the all-around standings after this rotation. Just a lot of stuff going on, a lot of mistakes here and there. But still early in the season. If there's any place to see where the cracks in the shield are, it's here and now. Really helps teams know where to go back and what to address. So it'll be fun to keep a lookout for these mistakes later in the season, because I can bet you that guys are going to come back stronger.
Oh yeah, and I bet every team is gonna watch this competition back and look to see where they can make up, 1 or 2 tenths, even just a 10th here, a 10th there, just to be that much better for when postseason comes. So all of the season is a learning experience and just tweaking to peak at the right time. Here we got Zach Green on horse, also competing so individually on horse for Winter Cup qualification.
Come on, push. Come on, Zach.
Fight, come on.
He's looking a little heavy, a little tired, but the goal is to stay on and get off. All right, we'll take it.
Wow.
Stay on and get off and move to the next event. That's all you can hope for.
Go to rings.
Let's get out of there. Just get out of there. Let's go.
Asher's got his grips on already. All right.
Any more? I think that may be a wrap for
I think that's it. So for the
event.
team standing wise, after 5 rotations, Stanford's leading 270.6, Ohio in second, 265.05, and Cal with a 262.55.
Here we have our all-around standings. David Ramirez and Ohio State Buckeyes in first. Cooper Kim moves into second place, not by much, only a 10th. If David Schauma in third place. However, we'll have to wait to see Zach Green's score. We did have a hit routine from him, and I know that he is in the running for this all-around qualification spot. It's gonna come down to it, ladies and gentlemen. Cooper Kim. I'm rooting for Cooper, of course, being a Stanford alum. He has rings next. Not the strongest event for him, but an easy event to go clean and stick the dismount, so we'll be looking for that. Nick Cooper still in first place on floor. He might have himself a couple of titles by the end of the night. Cooper Kim in third and Riley in second place.
5-minute touch starts right now.
I'm a horse.
Wow.
Marcus Kushner in first place. I don't know what the difficulty is for horse.
5-2.
But is that gonna meet the threshold? I don't think so.
I think it's 2. I think the threshold for pommel horse is a 15.6. I want to say, so because he didn't hit that element, he lost some difficulty there. So he started from a 15.2, but he is currently winning the event. Jace Hashimoto from the Buckeyes in second with a 13.4, and Parker Thaxton with a 13.4 as well. Going to the still rings, we have yet to see Stanford, but Theo's leading right now with a 13.3 from Cal. Nathan Underhill, 13.25, and Dino Roberts from Tree Group with a 13.25 as well. But I know Stanford is historically a very strong rings team, so we'll see what scores they can put up. On the vault, Jasper still holding it down with the 14.55. June 14.45, just 1/10 lower, and Asher in third with a 14.4. So you see on vault all 14s, very, very competitive. Going to P-bars, David Shama leading, 14.2. Wow. And he has a 15.5 start score. That's hard to do on this event. Asher in second, 14.05, solid score, and Theo in third from Cal, 13.95. All great scores. Finally, high bar. Nick and Coop still tied with 14.6, and David Ramirez 14.05.
It's gonna come down to it, especially for the Winter Cup qualifications. In terms of the team standings, the Buckeyes pulled away a little bit. They're a 3-point lead to Cal, but it's gonna be interesting because Buckeyes are headed to floor. The Buckeyes are talented on floor, and the Cal Berkeley Bears on horse. They have some pretty talented horse guys too, so it's still anyone's game. 3 points can go really extremely quickly in this sport, so don't count chickens is what I would say. The Stanford Cardinal heading to rings. It's a good safe routine event, for them. It's gonna be hard to give away almost 5 points of space to the Buckeyes, but you never want to be complacent. You want to fight like you're behind until the competition's over. But in terms of the Winter Cup standings, it's going to be really close. Again, we're watching for our all-arounders for the Stanford Cardinal, Cooper Kim, Zach Green, Xander Hong's also in the mix. Seeing that top two it's going to be a fight. And then, of course, we have our individual athletes trying to qualify. It's really going to come down to it. Here we have Zach Green on the pommel horse. His score comes through as an 11.6. Where does that place him in the all-around? We shall find out soon. That places.
We always say it's never over till it's over.
That places Zach in 5th place right now, the 65.1. 2 points, off of Cooper Kim's 67.3. So he'd have to put in some work to squeeze into that 2nd place position, but anything is possible. Anything is possible.
There are also some guys that are doing all around tonight that are pre-qualified to Winter Cup, and they might be above some guys that aren't yet qualified, so you gotta remember that as well when looking at the standings.
Those athletes that are pre-qualified, their scores will not be counted towards the Winter Cup qualifications. Here we go. The start of the 6th rotation. We have Trig Dudley on the horse for the Cal Berkeley Bears. We're gonna need some hit sets from the Bears on horse, which is just not easy as your 6th event, but if they want it, we're gonna have to fight for it. Oh, just off the bat, we have a huge mistake. That's gonna hurt, but it's never too late to turn it around.
Gets stuck landing on floor by...
Wow, look at that scale. That is crazy.
Style.
Oh my gosh. We got a stuck dismount from Arun Chetri on the rings. That's how you want to start off your final routine of the night or your rotation.
And that's how you finish after a fall, too, I would say. He did a very good job, and he looked way more comfortable in his swing on horse. Keep the momentum going, set up the next guy, knock it down.
We already have a mistake.
Here we have,
Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, high bar, Joey Neves, competing for Tree Group. He's actually from my club gym, 5280 Gymnastics. Freshman on Stanford's team. I would say I love Joey's lines. He's very long and clean gymnast. Just makes these in-bar elements look so easy. But good dismount, good finish. Had a miss on a release earlier in the routine, but finished strong. So good job, Joey.
Up next on the floor, we have Chase Davenport Mills. Chase has been a national team member in the past, but before we get there, we're going to go to pommel horse. We have Kyan Orion. He's going to want to pick it up from his teammate's earlier mistake if he wants to help his team close that gap with the Buckeyes. Kyan, a Stanford card. Holding my breath. Beautiful Buznari there.
Wow. Handled that very well.
Kyan Orion was a Stanford card. Switched to Cal Berkeley. Come on, push it.
Good.
So I'm still
Just
rooting
the
for him.
dismount.
Great routine.
Nice.
From Kyan Orion on the horse. That's exactly what you want to see after a mistake from your teammates.
That was Kyan's only event he was competing tonight, so did his job. We have Nick Kubler on the rings, keeping it going after Arun. Sticks landing! 2 sticks for Stanford.
Double
They
straight.
got a stick train.
That might be the most difficult dismount you'll see tonight, and he sticks it. Nick Kubler, you're gonna want to keep an eye on him heading into the later half of the season because he is on fire.
Great night for Nick.
We have a dismount from Chase on floor. Wow, he stands it straight up.
Cold. Stuck that cold. Stick bonus for Chase on floor.
Not easy. You will not see me doing
Our
that.
6th event is heating up right now.
Yeah, we're fighting. Guys are fighting. Here on high bar, we have Ayumura. Again, we mentioned him early on the floor. He's fighting some injuries, but still getting out there, getting some experience on the events that he can do. Big release here. Nice. Puts it right where he wants it and grabs it. Good work, Kai. Come on, in front here. Nice. Ooh, almost got the stick there. A little bit wobbly knees on that, but great work from Kai there. Glad to see him coming through even with struggles with injuries this season.
Eric Kim on pommel. Good routine.
Wow.
Does the extra pirouette. Gets the 10th of bonus there. Great hit.
Berkeley's not.
Brought the momentum back for Cal, man.
Oh, hit some dance moves too. Okay. Berkeley's not going down without a fight and without a few dance moves. Without a few stanky legs in the way in the process. Going back to the rings, we have Reese Landsberger, strong gymnast here. He's capable of doing some really big gymnastics. Wow, look at that. Just inlocates into a Maltese flat table position. You want to see guys have a straight body in those skills. And Reese, I would drink a cup of coffee off of that table right there. We have a cross. Just to make sure he's holding these positions. 0, 1, 2.
Good.
At home, you can count for yourself. 0, 1, 2. If they start moving before you get to 2.
Or hold. Deduction.
All right, now going for the dismount. Nice, a small little bounce, but overall, great routine.
Great set.
This is how you want to cap off a great meet for your team. Back to the horse, you're going to see Berkeley keep fighting to get back onto that podium. Second place, maybe even first place position. We have Jasper Smith-Gordon, who we saw do an amazing vault earlier today. I love his
Nice
swing,
progression.
very flat body. Not piked, not super extended, but a consistent.
Just seems fluid.
Yeah. Nice.
Not muscling anything. Flies up. Go.
Wow.
Nice.
These double pirouetting dismounts is something that's not new, but it's surprising to see so many gymnasts are bringing this out. It's great to see everyone fighting for every last tenth. We saw a miss on high bar from Xander Hong. Unfortunately, it's not looking too good for his qualification spot, but we still want to see him finish off strong.
Yeah, it's good to see him out there doing all 6 events. Just, you know, putting in the numbers on all, doing those practice competitions on all 6 events is very hard, and you know, you gotta be doing them throughout the week and just getting those reps in the gym. But winding up for the dismount here.
We have Asher Hong on rings, doing a great set so far. He's gearing up for the dismount. Team is really going to big score from here. Going to cap off the night for the Stanford Cardinal. See what he's got. And a stuck dismount. Double in the stretched position. Stuck from Asher Hong. And like I said earlier, this is why he is a 2024 U.S. Olympic bronze medalist. Ladies and gentlemen, he is showing you routine in and routine out why he earned that title. Great to see him
World class.
showing up for his team here. I think that's the final set for the Stanford Cardinal. The following 2 gymnasts are going to be fighting for the Winter Cup spot. But overall, great competition for the Stanford Cardinal. We're going to keep an eye out for the final scores now that Berkeley has completed their run. Stanford has completed their run. And I believe we have our final competitor for the Buckeyes on floor, Jesse Pekil. This routine might decide whether or not the Buckeyes are in 2nd or 3rd place. Wow.
Sticks to the landing.
Puts a cap on it. I think they might have 2nd place after that routine. Good work from Jesse. Also one of our Winter Cup all-around competitors for tonight. See where that puts him.
Huge 14.45 for Asher on rings. Stick bonus.
We have Cooper Kim. Want to keep an eye on him as he's trying to make Winter Cup. Not his best event, but rings, you just want to be clean, be sharp, keep the rings turned out, get a stuck dismount, just like we saw from Asher Hong and Nick Kubler and so many other gymnasts here today. Come on, Cooper. Did he get it? I missed it.
I couldn't tell if that was a stick or if he did a little hop, but it looked pretty good. So.
Let's go, Cooper.
Great day for Coop. We'll see how his placement shakes out in the standings for his Winter Cup qualification.
If he wins high bar, does he have the star value? He has a high star value on high bar. He might. I wonder if he qualified based on which all around as well. 5-3. High bar is not easy.
15-3. I think the high bar qualification score was ridiculously high as well. I think it was like a 15.8, and you had to hit that benchmark and win high bar.
I mean, if you're doing a 15.8, chances are. All right, here we have Zach Green on the rings. Despite being a long, tall gymnast, he's still showing off the strong eye skills, that straight planche. You know, he's been in the weight room. Zach Green wants to hit a good set here to cap off his night and try to make a good case for himself going to 2026 Winter Cup Championship. So far, so good.
Sticks it. Cold. Great way to finish the night for Zach. Happy to see it. Looks like he's having fun out there.
Wow.
Ooh. This is a good routine coming up. This is June on high bar. Very energetic routine, I would say. Nice talk half to start it off. Winding up for a huge casina. Puts it on perfectly. Whoa, little fingertips on that Coleman, but looks good. Wow, this is very
Nice,
good.
put it down.
Let's see if he can
Put it
stick this
down.
landing.
Oh, bro.
Wow, he looked like he just, you know, juiced it, like put so much gas into that dismount and over-rotated. But that was looks like he's cramping a little bit. Maybe had trouble letting go of the bar on the dismount, but looked like a great routine.
Wow, what an ending to a great competition. That was awesome. You saw a little bit of a low on the 5th event for a lot of teams, especially the Cardinal on horse and the Buckeyes on the high bar, but the guys really took a break, recouped, and figured out what they needed to do to turn it around for that 6th event. That was a lot of fun to watch. We saw, maybe 3 or 4 stuck dismounts on the rings, some big gymnastics on high bar, some really statement finishes on floor. That's how you know who the real competitors are, who's going to show up at the last minute. Looking at our all-around standings, we have Action Hong in first place. Surprise there. David Ramirez for the Buckeyes in second, Cooper Kim in third. So I do believe Cooper Kim and David Ramirez are going to get that Winter Cup spot for the all-around. Congratulations to those two. Cooper Kim did a great job today. 75 from him, 79.8 from David. Excited to see what they can put together. Winter Cup next month. Looking at the floor, Nick Kubler. 9.80 execution. Jesse in second place for the Buckeye, and Chase in third for the Buckeye as well, tied with Riley Luce. Nick Kubler, he's going to be fun to watch this year. He's coming out swinging. Third competition of the year. So fun to watch. On to the pommel horse. For Smith Gordon in second place with 13.5, and Harry Kim tied his teammate with another 13.5. Great job from Cal Berkeley. That was their last event of the day, but coming away with 2 titles. They said they don't care. 5th event, 6th event, 7th event, 8th event. We're going to come out and compete like it's the first event. Congratulations to those two, and of course Marcus Kushner. I do not believe he's going to qualify to win a cup, but nonetheless did a great routine. Still rings Asher Hong with a 14.45, 9E score. Great work. Nick Kubler again. Get used to that name. You're going to keep seeing that in and out. Nick Kubler with a 14.0, 8 execution. And Reese Landsberger, that's a Stanford sweep if I've ever seen one. Good work to those guys. Moving on to the vault.
Got Jasper Smith Gordon, 14.55. Held it down throughout the entire competition. Congratulations to him. June, 14.45, and Asher in third with 14.4. Close battle there, but great job, guys, on vault. Going over to P-bars, David Shama, the front uprise guy, 14.2. 15.5 start score, very respectable. Asher in second, 14.05, and Theo from Cal, 13.95. Great job, guys. Three-way tie, actually. David Ramirez, and I didn't see the last guy. High bar, Nick and Coop first tied, 14.6 throughout the whole competition, held it down. David Ramirez in third from the Buckeyes, 14.05. Great job, guys.
What an amazing competition we had today. Let's take a look at the team standings. We have Stanford Cardinal in first place with a 326.45. That is going to be their high score of the season so far. Hopefully they're going to keep building on that score throughout the season. But a great showing, even with some mistakes here and there. In second place, we have the Ohio State Buckeyes with 318.05. They held on to that second place position. We saw earlier on they were in third for most of the first half of the competition, but things do change. You got to keep an eye out on each event because things do shift quickly. And then we have Cal Berkeley in third place with 313.95. Great showing from everyone. Here's each event, how each event washed out. But great showing from Stanford Cardinal, Ohio State,
fantastic, fantastic competition for all the guys. It was awesome to see everyone getting the kinks out and testing out new lineups, and I love this part of the season, so can't wait to see these guys and how they look at the end of the season. But Stanford, I think 326, is that the #1 score so far this season?
I'm not sure, but it's definitely one of the top 3 scores. Great to come out swinging and hit a high score at your home meet. Add some confidence, add momentum for the season. But yeah, as you can see, where you get these 54s and 55s, that's really where you want your event scores to be. We have a 49.9 from Stanford on horse. Improving on that would greatly increase the team's all-around or team score. So these are the places that you go back and look at film and figure out where are our weaknesses and how can we make those our strengths. So
definitely
to see later down the line.
All right, thank you, Virtius, and thank you, Stanford, for hosting.